When it comes to credit and finance, wake up and win with Monique Macklin.
Wealthy Rising and welcome to Wake Up and Win with Monique Macklin. You're tuned in to Morning Money Moment with yours truly, Monique Macklin, the Pink Power CEO, where I help people just like you make, manage, and multiply money so you can live the life and lifestyle that you desire to live on your terms. Now, today's topic is, you weren't born to clock in forever. So listen, before anyone gets offended, let me say this. There is absolutely nothing wrong with having a job. Jobs feed families, jobs provide benefits, jobs create stability. Many of us started there. I started out there. So this isn't about looking down on anyone who's employed. This is about asking a bigger question. Is that all you want out of life? Were you born simply to wake up, fight traffic, clock in, clock out, come home tired, pay bills, go to sleep, and do it all over again for the next 30 or 40 years? I don't believe that. I believe every single one of us was born with gifts, with ideas, with talents, with experiences, with something valuable that somebody somewhere is willing to pay for. The problem is, most of us were taught to depend on active income. Now, what do I mean when I say active income? Well, active income means your physical presence is required in order for you to get paid. So whether you have one job, two jobs, three jobs, or you're working all the overtime you can get, if you have to show up in order for you to get paid, that's called active income. Now, again, don't get me wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong with earning active income. Again, most of us start there. I started there. But why does our financial education stop there? Why aren't we being taught how to access assets? I'm talking about assets like investments, businesses, intellectual property, income producing opportunities, things that have the potential to generate income whether you're physically working or not. Why does the conversation almost always stop at getting another job, working more overtime, or picking up another side hustle? Why is there so little emphasis on teaching people how to acquire and leverage assets? Because if you ask me, this shouldn't be rocket science. And let's be honest, we've been conditioned to believe that if we just work hard enough, stay loyal long enough, put a little money into a 401k, maybe buy a house one day, everything will somehow work itself out. Now, once again, don't get me wrong. I'm not against 401ks and I'm definitely not against real estate. That's where I started my career. I believe both can play an important role in building wealth, but by themselves, they're not a complete wealth strategy. And in many cases, they won't be enough, especially if you never learn how to leverage them properly. You see, there's a reason so many people ever become truly wealthy, right? There's a reason so few people ever become truly wealthy. It's not because they're smarter. It's not because they work harder. Many hardworking people simply never get exposed to a different way of thinking about money. So they keep doing what they were taught. They work, they get paid, they pay bills, they repeat the cycle. And because the paycheck keeps coming, they become comfortable enough to stop asking bigger questions. Questions like, how do I get to the next level? How do I buy assets instead of just paying bills? How do I create income that isn't tied to my time? How do I position myself differently? They don't seek out mentors who have already built what they want to build. They don't ask someone who's already in position, how did you get there? Instead, many people spend years trying to climb higher on the same ladder, without ever stopping to ask whether the ladder is even leaning against the right wall. And that's the part that frustrates the hell out of me, because I see so many brilliant people, capable people, hardworking people, people who have accepted financial survival as if it were financial success. And those are not the same thing. I don't want you working just for money. I want your money working for you. I don't want you simply out here earning a living. I want you to build a life. I want you to build assets. I want you to build options. I want you to build freedom, because that's what wealth really buys. It buys choices. And let me leave you with this. There will probably always be the have and the have-nots amongst us. But don't fool yourself into believing that everyone who has wealth simply inherited it or was born into it. Many of them made a decision to think differently, a decision to learn differently, a decision to stop settling, a decision to stop waiting for permission. And that one decision changed the trajectory of their lives. And here's what I know. You cannot build an extraordinary life making ordinary decisions. At some point, you have to become fearless, not reckless, but fearless. Because if you're unwilling to risk the comfort of where you are for the possibility of where you could be, you'll probably stay exactly where you are. Now, I'm not telling you to quit your job tomorrow. I'm telling you to quit limiting your thinking. I'm telling you to stop believing that a paycheck is the highest level of financial success available to you, because it's not. There's a saying, no risk, no reward. Growth requires movement. Wealth requires decisions. Success requires courage. If all you ever chase is safety, you may never experience significance. If all you ever chase is security, you may never discover your true capacity. And before you know it, you'll wake up one day realizing you spent your entire life surviving when you were created to build something much bigger. So here's my challenge. Stop pretending, stop performing, stop trying to look financially successful while privately struggling to build financial freedom. It's time to stop faking the lifestyle and start building the legacy. It's time to stop talking about it and stand on business. Stand on your future. Stand on your purpose. Stand on your financial intelligence. Stand on the decision that your family changes because you decided to make those changes. Because at the end of the day, nobody can make the decision for you. Only you can. And when you do, everything begins to change. Now, if you're sitting there saying, Monique, I don't know what I want, but I do know that I want more. I just don't know where to start. That's exactly why I'm here. If you're serious about making, managing, and multiplying your money, then let's have a conversation. Visit www.timewithmo.com and schedule your power call today. And if you'd like to know where you stand with your personal credit, because your credit may be the very thing that's holding you back, stop avoiding it. Avoiding it doesn't help it or help you to get ahead. All you have to do is go to creditlady.info and find out exactly where you stand so you can begin making strategic financial moves. And at the end of all this, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in to Wake Up and Win with Monique Macklin. Thank you for taking the time to join me for another Morning Money Moment. And in closing, as I always say, I will see you at the top, because as we all know, the bottom is way too crowded. I'll talk to you soon.